Life is complex. Life can be frustrating. Life can put your mind, your soul, your body in a place where you will not be happy for the rest of your life if you are not careful. Be intentional in dealing with the things that had happened to you growing up, especially by your parents. If those things are not addressed, you just find yourself acting like a pendulum, going back and forth, dancing or merry-go-rounding in the journey of your life. And that is not the will of your Creator for you. God does not wish you to be sad, to be unhappy, to become a victim of error. Victims of life are all over the place. Victims of relationship, victims of wrong parenting, wrong relationship, even victims of wrong association has brought a lot of people to a place where they can't even find themselves. Àwọn kan wà wọn ò tiẹ̀ ríra wọn mọ́, wọn ò gbúròó ara wọn mọ́. They can't feel their person. They can't feel their emotions because of what life has thrown at them. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu. This is She Matters on Fresh FM 105.3 Lagos, Nigeria. On behalf of a visionary leader, MON himself, Dr. Nkaju Elaifele, I welcome you to She Matters on Fresh FM 105.3 right in the city of Lagos. I want to encourage everyone. I don't want you to listen to this episode alone today. Everybody stems from home. Nobody dropped from heaven to this earth. You have a father, you have a mother. The formative year of a child is very important. Ẹ sọ pé òyìnbó ni mo ti ń sọ látàárọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré kí gbogbo yín ní orúkọ oní ẹ̀ńtọ́ni ilé-iṣẹ́ Dr. Nkaju Elaifele. Mo kí yín sórí ètò She Matters. Mo wá fẹ́ sọ fún wa wípé ẹ má jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ètò ìlásán lénìí. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká dá gbọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè sọ fáwọn èèyàn. Because nǹkan tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ níjẹ̀jọ́ yẹn ó le gan-an ni. Gbogbo wa ìdílé láti jáde, a ní bàbá níyà. Ẹlòmíín sìn kò tiẹ̀ mọ bí tó wà mọ́, kò rí rẹ̀ mọ́ torí pé kí ni ó wá láti ìdílé tó jẹ́ pé oríṣiríṣi ló ti ṣẹlẹ̀ sí. Kò wá mọ odó tó tiẹ̀ ń dọ̀run lásìkò mọ nǹkan tó yẹ kó ṣe. Ó ṣá wà ń bẹ̀ ṣá, ó ń jó kò mọ ẹni tó ń lùlù fún, ó ṣá ń jó ni. Oríṣiríṣi jó ló wà lẹ́sẹ̀ nìyẹn. Torí pé kí ni àwọn òbí wọ́n ti ṣe àwọn nǹkan kan sí wọn nígbà tó ń dàgbà. Wọn ò mọ̀ wípé ọmọ yàtọ̀ sọ́mọ. Wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé ọ̀nà nínú abiyamọ. Wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé Táyé àti Kẹ́hìndé wọn ò jọra. Wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé ẹ̀gbọ́n àtàbúrò ò jọra. Wọ́n wá kó gbogbo wọn sí ìrìn. Àwọn ìrìn tó máa ń kóyàn sí tó yẹ pé èèyàn ò ní lè rí rẹ̀. Èèyàn lè dẹni tó ń hùwàkiwà tó wà nínú oríṣiríṣi vices, àwọn ìwà tẹ́ máa pé kí ló wá dé tọmọ ìdédé yí padà báyìí, kí ló ṣọmọ yìí, kí la gbé kí la jù, kí ló fà á. Ìdí ẹ̀ ò ní wípé bàbá ìyá wọ́n ti ṣe nǹkan kan, wọ́n wá jẹ́ kí wọ́n wá dá ayé àwọn ọmọ yẹn, wọ́n dá wọn sí one chance. Wọn ò mọ nǹkan tán lè ṣe mọ́. Ó ti di wípé wọ́n ṣá wà ń bẹ̀. Wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀ lásán o. Àwọn ọmọ tí àwọn ọmọ yẹn bá bí ó máa kó bá wọn. Ibi tí àṣírí ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ lénìí wà nìyẹn. Nǹkan téèyàn ò bá kúrò nú ẹ̀, what you don't heal from, what is still bothering you, what you have not addressed, wàá kàn rí pé tó bá ti ń lọ sókè tó ti fẹ́ gòkè ó máa yọ ojú. Anything that destroys a giant climbs up with him. What are the things that climbed up with you? They climbed when you were growing up. It's a foundational issue. And you know me, I have a nickname. Trace it, face it, erase it and start replacing it. A gbọ́dọ̀ wo kí ni gbòǹgbò nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ kí n má lè gbélé ọkọ. Kí ni gbòǹgbò nǹkan tó yẹ pé mi lè tọ́jú ìyàwó dalẹ̀. Kí ni gbòǹgbò nǹkan tó yẹ pé tí n bá ti fẹ́ ṣe báyìí àwọn èèyàn wọn ò ní gbà mí gbọ́, wọ́n máa misunderstand mi. Mi lè sọ, ọkàn mi ò lè sọ bí ìrìn àjò ayé mi ṣe máa délẹ̀. I can't trace the journey of my life to a glorious destination. What is the reason? Kí ló fà á? These are the things we're going to be discussing today. Under sibling rivalry, this is part 2. I brought the part 2 because I have a practical case in the house and I want to interview her practically. by the reason of understanding of my profession and the things I do, so that you will know that this story, they are real people, real story, real situation. And of course, I have another one that will still tell me I experienced. They have two of them in the house today. They want to share their story with me. I always want to be practical with life, so people will not think kí ló ń sọ gan, ìyá Adetuberu ṣó yẹ ṣá, ó yé mi ju orúkọ mi lọ, àwọn nǹkan tí mò ń sọ, because people don't understand that they are the one that life has dealt badly. They are the one facing the consequences. They are the ones people are abusing. Kò sẹ́ni tó máa wò pé amúkọ ẹrù ẹ wọ kí lẹ̀ ń wòkè fún. Ìsàlẹ̀ ní nà kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi, ó dà ló dà tọmọdẹ́gbẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ọmọ kọ́kọ́ ló ṣe mí tó fi rí báyìí. Kò sẹ́ni tó máa lè mọ ìdí ẹ̀. Ẹni yẹn gan tó ń la nǹkan kọjá kò ní lè sọ pé kí ló dé tọkọ kò òkun kọ́ńbọ́ọ̀dù, kí ló dé tí mò ń change obìnrin bí ẹni tó ń change aṣọ, kí ló fà á? Àwọn nǹkan yìí ló fà á. This my guest today, she had an experience with her parents that turned her to be what she said last week. But now I want to back ask her questions, professionally speaking, so that if you are listening to me and you have a similar challenge, it will be easy for you to quickly trace it, face it, erase it, and start replacing it. I welcome my guest to the house. Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, ma. I'm fine, mommy. Thank you so much.
How many are you in the family?
I have 3 siblings, ma.
You are the first one, second, or third?
I'm the last born, ma.
Wow. Being the last born, how does it feel? Because I used to tell people that being the last born, Emma worry mama interpret, I know that sometimes the third child, the last born, used to enjoy the family, pampered brats, last born syndrome. Did you enjoy that in your own family?
No, ma. In my own case, ma, I was more of like the firstborn. I was more or less like the first child, because of the experience that I had while growing up.
Why did they swap the position?
After the family business went down, I noticed that my daddy was depressed, and because of that, I don't know, the anger, like he transferred the anger, the aggressions to me, the last child. He would transfer the aggressions to me. And
how do that? How? Because is your mommy not there?
My mother was there. Yes, they had their own issues, but for me, the aggression was really much. He would sometimes, whenever I'm eating, he's always complaining. He's always finding faults in everything. Oh, you are not working very well. You're not doing this thing. You are not doing. And the other children were not really perfect. They were not perfect, but he's always finding faults in my own case.
Ẹ wo, ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré sọ ní Yorùbá. Mi fẹ́ kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi kí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kó kọjá yín, torí pé kí ni èèyàn tó la nǹkan kọjá òun la jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ètò lénìí. Àkọ́kọ́ nínú àwọn ọmọ mẹ́ta, òun làbí gbẹ̀yìn, ó sọ pé òun làbí gbẹ̀yìn. Lẹ́lẹ́kejì ó wá sọ wípé ìgbà tí iṣẹ́ bàbá tó dúró, ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré sọ̀rọ̀ lórí yẹn. Ṣé mọ̀ pé torí mò ń teach wa, mò ń kọ́ wa ni, mi ò lè kàn lè jẹ́ kí gbogbo ẹ máa lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Tí nǹkan kan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ìgbéyàwó, bóyá kò sówó ni o, bóyá nǹkan wọ́n ni o, àgàgà bí Nàìjíríà tá tún wà lénìí, tàbí pé àwọn èèyàn ò rí nǹkan ṣe bó ṣe yẹ kán ṣe, kò sówó mọ́, orí àwọn ọmọ la máa ń dà lé. Ẹ ṣọ́ra ní táìmù yìí o. Nàìjíríà ṣì máa dà, ìlú ṣì máa dùn tí ẹ bá sọ pé torí ẹ lówó ẹ fọyín, tówó bá dé ẹ ò ní lè rẹ́rìn o. Ó fọ́nì àbí? Tí a bá sọ wípé gbogbo bó ṣe ń dùn wá, kóńgò ráìsì, atarodo, ẹ̀wà ó di 2.5, àpò ráìsì di 100,000, tàbá nìyẹn la fi máa yarí fáwọn ọmọ wa. Ó ti jẹun jù, kí ló ń ṣe gbàgbós? Kì í ṣe ọmọ ló ń jẹun jù o, kì í ṣe ọmọ ló ní problem o. You are the one that has problem. Ìwọ ló ní wàhálà o tó kàn ń dá sórí ọmọ. Èmi náà ti lọ́mọ tí mo ti tọ́ rí, ṣùgbọ́n kò lè báyìí. Pẹ̀lú pé kò lè báyìí náà, ìgbà míì máa wà tó yẹ pé a máa nílò nǹkan kan tí kò dẹ̀ sówó. Ibi tẹ́rin méjì bá ti ń jà koríko ló máa ń jìyà o. Whether you like it or not, àwọn nǹkan tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa nínú ìdílé ó ń affect àwọn ọmọ wa o. Ó bẹ́tà kẹ́ tètè mọ̀ ń sìn. Ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tó sọ, ó ní bí dádì o àti mọ́mì o wọ́n ní wàhálà tí wọ́n tó ń bá fà. Ṣùgbọ́n ńgbà tí bàbá wọn tíṣẹ́ ti bọ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá wọn, ó di pé wọ́n ní ìrẹ̀wẹ̀sì ọkàn tá à ń pè ní depression. And depression yẹn ó wá jẹ́ kí ó di pé erin méjì tó ń jà koríko òun làbí gbẹ̀yìn, orí ẹ̀ náà ń da gbogbo ẹ̀ lé. Màá sì béèrè ìdí ẹ̀ o nínú ètò yìí, bọ̀ mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ wípé bó bá ṣe ń sọ lóyìnbó máa interpret ẹ̀. Ìta àbá lè lásìkò lọ láti interpret, ẹjọ́ bá ń pọ ọmọ yín kan lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ pé kó máa bá mi sọ fún yín, ẹjọ́ mà ẹjọ́ sà. Ìdí ni wípé mo fẹ́ kí ó yé gbogbo wa, mi dẹ̀ fẹ́ lo gbogbo àkókò. Tí n bá ní ká lo gbogbo àkókò, àròjọ́ mú solókùn. Ìdí nìyẹn tí mo fi fẹ́ máa mú láwẹ́láwẹ́. My guest, welcome.
Thank you, ma.
Share some of these experiences, the things he said. Now, you made a statement that he made you to look like you, as if you are the firstborn. I need to say something along that line. I'm going to warn parents. Mo fẹ́ fi tọwọ́tọwọ́ bẹ̀ yín òbí pé ẹ má jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ yín máa la nǹkan àgbà kọjá ńgbà tán bá jọmọdé. Don't let your children experience adult matters as kids. It is not good to prey on the emotions of your children, discussing my marriage, my wife, my husband. The moment you are doing that to those children, you are killing their growth. You are messing up their growth. They will not grow like normal child. She said something which I'm still going to ask her. She said she was like the firstborn. Go ahead. Why were you like the firstborn?
Because of the way he treated me. He expected more from me. And then I was just like, I was still small, like I was the last born. But like the way he treats me is like, you are supposed to do this thing, you are like, I don't know how to put it in words, but it's more like firstborn rule. And I'm just small. Like,
how old were you then? Can you tell me your age then?
Okay, I know it started when I was 6.
Wow.
Yes, when I was 6, I noticed it, and it continued till last year.
Till this last year?
Yes, sir.
Continue. Tell me. Go ahead. Wow.
So it continued till last year. I had to just tell him because I could not keep it again. I had to Daddy, this is what I noticed, and I don't know.
No, so, let me take you a little bit further than now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you told him that this and this and this. What was his reaction?
Well, he did apologize.
Good father.
Yes, he apologized.
For the fact that, I celebrate him and appreciate him. The person on the program is no name, no face, no identity. You know, we do that a lot on She Matters. People come to discuss their issues and we don't have their names. We don't have their pictures shown, just for them to be comfortable to share their life issues and their experiences. I'm glad Daddy has apologized. Let's now go back to that growing up. You know, he apologized, we told him, but he's still there. He's still there. So the effect when you were growing up, how did you do? The first day he said, your sister is my favorite, no matter what you do. Share practically, and I'm not going to interrupt you. I want to give you time to share practically the things that, last week you just told us on the surface and it was a whole episode. This time, tell us exactly how you felt. What were the consequences of that statement? How did it affect you emotionally, psychologically? Probably affected you education-wise. I don't know. I need to listen to you. If I have to interrupt or interject, I will interject. But I want you to really, really pour your heart to 1,000,001 people all over the world. listening to She Matters, and they want to take wisdom. They want to understand, wow, why? So this is the reason why I'm like this, I'm like that, I'm like that. I want them to learn from your story. Like I told you before we came to the program, I said the best way to heal is to become a wounded healer. The best way to heal is to allow your mess to become your message, so that other people will learn. They won't continue to make the same mistakes without anybody cautioning them. This knowledge that we are sharing to the world will caution every parent on how to raise their kids. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mommy. Something came up between me and my sister, and he got to know about the thing, and he called me and he said, see, I don't want to know what happened between both of you, but I just want you to know that your sister is my favorite. She's the apple of my eyes, and I don't care. I don't care what happened, or I don't want anything to happen to her. I don't care what happened between you guys, but I don't want anything to happen to her. Like, when he said that word, I just stood still. Like, I could not say anything, and he dismissed me. And so that day was when I became another thing. I was so depressed. And this is it. In my family, I have a brother, just one brother. And yes, because it's just one, my mother really loved him. That's my brother happens to be my mother's favorite. And my father, my sister happens to be a favorite. And I'm just like, who is my favorite? Who loves me? So after that thing happened, after he said those words to me, I felt really bad. I started having low self-esteem. It was really low. I did not believe in myself. I felt those things. I had dreams. I had things I wanted to do. I've already like pictured my life. Like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is. I stop everything because I felt like if my father cannot see the good in me, then who will? So I'm the type of person that like asking questions. I want to know how things are and everything. I stop being that person. I just will not say anything. Whenever we are having family gatherings, when maybe in the evening everybody's in the room, they are watching movies, I will just be in my room. I just want my space. I became very angry. My mother would notice, okay, there is a scenario that happened. I was sick and my sister was sick. Both of us were sick. And my daddy just walked up to my sister. He saw me. I was lying down, so I was sick. And my father walked up to my sister. I'm like, how is your body? How is skin? I hope you're fine. And he left me. My mother noticed what happened and he was like, see your other daughter now. She's not feeling fine. You don't even bother to check on her and everything. He did not even, I just left. I was like, God. This is where. After that scenario, I felt like there was no.
I allow you to vent. Just go ahead. Talk. People wants to hear. Parents should understand how bad it is. How old are you? Let me ask you.
20.
She's 20. And at 20, she has carried this wound from age 6. Last year, she was able to talk to her dad. But because there was no venting, there was no counseling, there was no therapy, there was no platform for the two of them, and for her to express this feeling, do you know what this has done to her? She's crying now. Number one, her vision was truncated. That thing put her life on hold. It just put her life on hold. Then she was isolated. Very sad. Not even that alone. The painful part of it is she stammers. And naturally, when you find it difficult to express yourself because you stammers, what happened? You get angry. So that episode of rejection, being abandoned, being isolated, magnified her anger. I want to ask you one or two questions. Hold yourself together. This anger thing, how did you manifest it? How did you let it out? What happens? Give me examples of, because say I get angry. That anger is what I want to handle. And if you are an angry person, be ready to go in for therapy immediately, because anger is one word short of danger and it will affect everything. So I want to know, how angry have you been, or you had been, or the experience and the episodes of anger that has come up because of this inlet of your daddy's wound in your soul. Go ahead.
Yes, like I said earlier, like I started getting angry over little things. Most times when I'm angry, I can stab anybody that is around me. There was a incident that happened that I broke bottle. I was ready to stab the person. Like my mom was like, when did you become like this?
When is when you were rejected? When is when you were abandoned? When is when you were hated? When is when they compromised your relationship with your siblings? When is when you felt unloved? When is when you did not see anything good in yourself? When is 1,000,000 answers? I can give you when is when for the next 1 hour and I will stop. When is when you felt that you should have even... Go ahead with what you are saying.
It got really bad when I was sexually molested and I couldn't.
Hey, when is when she was sexually molested? Now listen to me, everyone. Sometimes when I talk like this, no wonder the cross of the pain was the molestation. The cross of the pain. And how did it happen? Òyìnbó mi pọ̀ lẹ́ni, kí ni mo fẹ́ ṣe o? Ẹ wo, ẹ record the program ní, ẹ save ẹ. Tẹ́ bá need recording, máa send ẹ sí yín, kẹ́ lè send ẹ sáwọn èèyàn, àwọn ìyá kẹ́ lè interpret fún wọn, because nǹkan tí mò ń sọ yìí, eléyìí tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lénìí kì í ṣe nǹkan tí mo plan o. Ṣùgbọ́n mo mọ̀ pé àwọn bíi 1,000,000 kan wà ńbẹ̀ yẹn tó fẹ́ gbọ́, tó fẹ́ mọ gbòǹgbò ìṣòro ayé wọn, tó fẹ́ mọ nǹkan tó really sọ wọ́n di ẹni tó dà lénìí, tó fẹ́ mọ nǹkan tó jẹ́ kí ayé wọn kó má kó jọ. Ṣé ọmọ tí bàbá sọ fún pé òun fẹ́ràn ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ jù lọ ní téèyàn méjì sick inú yàrá, mò ń sọ nǹkan tó sọ lóyìnbó ni mò ń sọ Yorùbá yìí o, táwọn ọmọ méjì, ọmọ bàbá méjì, ọmọ ìyá méjì sick inú yàrá, ó lọ fọwọ́ pa kan lára, pẹ̀lẹ́ sáré yá, ó kọjá lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ìkan, ìyẹn ní kọ́kọ́ ìyàwó ẹ̀ tí wọ́n sọ pé ọmọ méjì ló wà ń bí náà, kí ló dé tó kọjá, ó kàn kọjá lọ, ò dáhùn. Ṣérú ọmọ yẹn ni ò ní wò pé tẹ́nibọ́dì bá molest mi, tẹ́nibọ́dì bá ṣe anything sí mi, mo deserve ẹ̀. Ó sọ nǹkan kan, ó ní mẹ́ta ni wọ́n. Ọmọbìnrin, of course, obìnrin 5 ló wà láyé ọkùnrin kọ̀ọ̀kan. Ìyá ẹ̀ ó ṣe pàtàkì. So ọkùnrin ó ti mú ìyá, ẹ̀gbọ́n obìnrin ó ti mú bàbá. Ńbo lòun wà? She's lonely. She's been abandoned. She's been rejected. She's alone in the crowd of 3. So what next? You are going to bring out that sexual molestation. She have told you. She said one day she broke the bottle. She wanted to kill somebody. So you have a child in your house now. Ó máa ń ṣe bí ẹni tí ó ti mú nǹkan ni. Ẹlòmíì àtẹni àbọ̀ ń lóògùn egbògi olóró ni. I don't know if she went into drugs. That's how people go to drugs. That's why they go into all sorts of vices. That's why they join the cult. That's why they join armed robbers. Some of you just keep blaming children. Parents, take responsibility for your loved ones and stop all these acts of my daughter, my son. If you can't take responsibility, you cannot find your kids back. I've done therapy for families that I will tell daddy and mommy, call your son, call your daughter and apologize to them. This girl came with a dream. She said she just abandoned her dreams, abandoned her vision, abandoned her prophecies. The prophecy she told herself, the prophecy of the dream she had. Joseph had a dream. He had his prophecy. Everybody have their prophecies. Abandon their prophecies. She abandoned her prophecy. Because parents were insensitive. If you want to give out to a child, give out to one and go and rest. You don't have to bring kids to the world and dump them and abandon them and reject them and treat them as if they are not human beings. It's not fair on any child. That's why I said take responsibility. Accept you are wrong. Some of you are hearing me now. Call a family meeting and tell your daughter, your son, you are sorry. And some of you say, I can't say sorry. If you don't learn to say sorry, one day they will be sorry for you. It is clear. They will be sorry for you. Because you will look for a child that you have rejected, you have abandoned, you have isolated, you have dumped like a pack of cards. You will want to see that child at your sick bed. You will not find that child there and you won't know the cause. And most of the time, the stone that the builders rejected is the one that becomes the head cornerstone. Most of the time, kids like this, I can tell you my own story. I have a lot of stories to tell you in this light. I want to explore the pain that this rejection, this being abandoned, being isolated, crushing her vision and her dream, putting her on a mental, emotional, psychological wheelchair because of what parents did. She did not force you to give birth to her. I'm saying that again. You don't have to bring a child to the world that you cannot manage their lives. Unfortunately, again, she's a thinker. So everything just sits in her soul. A lot of baggages, a lot of pause, egbo, on you just sit in her emotions. And you are telling me, why is she getting angry? Why she want to break bottle? She will break bottle 200 times. She won't send anybody. That's why she become wild like a lion. You caused it. Parents, you caused it. I'm not blaming you, parents, because in this profession, we don't blame people. Your mother, your father did it to you. Instead of being conscious and be intentionally dealing with your own case, you are now past the button. Before you know it now, if she's not privileged to be in this kind of place, she will press the button again to another child. It will now become, they will not say it's demon, generational altar, generational battle. You now be binding and losing. Where which you can avoid such binding and losing if you can just sit down and take time to nurture your children in the way that they should go. This is life. I don't know how parents think. Maybe they think their children are tables and chairs and toys. I don't understand. They are lives in your hand. They have a soul. They are lives. They have feelings. It's only in Africa, I've said it multiple times on my program, it's only in Africa that people don't respect your feelings. I was in London 1 year and I saw them dropping flowers on the main road with a lot of cars, dropping flowers on the road. And I asked the person that drove me, I said, what's going on here? What happened? You know what the person said? He said a car just hit the dog on the road and they are bringing flowers. The owner too wore black. At the scene of the accident, a car hit the dog. They respect soul all over the world, apart from Africa. It's only Africans that have that problem. They brought flowers to the road for a dog that a car hit. The owner wore black. They did funeral for a dog. In Africa, you will tell your mother, your father, or your auntie, or your uncle, or your guardian that, why are you hurting my feelings? The mouth you use in saying it, you won't use it to eat for 1 year because your teeth will be shaking. That's not fair. And that's why in Africa, we are not inventing, we are not thinking, we are not doing anything. The only thing we can do is Yahoo. They will invent plane. They will invent speakers, microphone. What are we inventing in Nigeria, in Africa? Leave Nigeria, Africa. Kill and shake, kill and create. They create anything now. Torí pé kíni, ibi tí source of our creativity has been crushed by parenting. It's so tough. It's so difficult to raise children that are emotionally, mentally, psychologically healthy when your lifestyle, your attitude, favoritism, showing that one child is better than the other, rejecting, abandoning your kids. I don't know. And most of the children we even abandon and we hate, most of them look like us. It's not for today. Yes, she was sexually molested. Can you see the root? Can you see the foundation? When I talk with a lot of pain, I'm sure all of you are so, Adetuberu ti gboro, ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ti le o, ó ti ń react. Mi ṣe ní react, ọ̀rọ̀ yóò ṣe ní le. These are destinies. These are people that, if they came from a healthy home, where favoritism is not shown, where people are not treated as if they are an accidental discharge or waste of your spermatozoa, they will flourish. Why would a kid abroad start doing things, start inventing? Tell me, look at the people that are inventors. Look at their background. Some of them even came from a broken home. They are raised by single parents. They make them, because the environment is not toxic. The environment gives information. There's no white man or white woman. The moment they are divorced, they will start reading on how to raise their children, what to do. It's Africa that will sit down between gum and be playing. You will see before movies, watching movies. That's why I tell people, the time you are supposed to invest in your life and take all the baggages and garbage in and garbage out, you will be watching people that are acting when you are supposed to be an actor yourself. That's the problem I've noticed in my generation, especially in Africa. We don't take time to reinvent our lives, to take our lives back. A white man, look at the mother of Benkasi now. She raised her kids as a single parent, but she was fully informed. She prepared herself for the journey of raising kids single-handedly. That's why that boy could become #1 surgeon in the world. Because they understand. They know what to do. Some of you, ọmọ ẹ ó ń ṣe bákan hùwà bákan ò ní wò pé báwo mo ṣe fẹ́ tọ́mọ ẹ̀ àtúní kẹ́ ṣe therapy ẹ̀ ní kò sí wo. That's why God forbid our culture, our tradition, money God forbid ṣé o ti kò ti late by. Our culture, our tradition, our system has really messed up our generation. It's so sad. I'm telling you the truth. You look at a potential like this in a child. You now murdered it. You squandered it on the altar of favoritism, preferring one child to the other. Who does that? I can't blame you. Don't forget, we don't blame people in our profession. I'm just bringing out my heart, showing you that it is not fair. And not that alone now. She now entered into sexual molestation. Can you see the root? If you can't trace it, you can't face it. Well, if you miss this episode, this is not one episode you should miss. Follow me on Instagram now. Funke Adetuberu is the handle. And listen to this. And if you can't get it, just send me a text and say, I need today's episode. I will send it to you so that you can watch it on WhatsApp, please. Because this is not an episode somebody should just say, I don't want to listen to. If you don't need it, your children need it. If your children does not need it, somebody needs it around. Share it, spread it. Let the world know that treating a child anyhow at their formative years is as taking a knife and cuckoo shred that boy, finish, or that girl. There's no point for a child like this to grow. Started the journey of shame, of blaming, of isolation, of manipulation, of rejection from age 6. So what do you want her to become? She'll become a saint. It's not possible. It is impossible plus cannot. Mo sọ pé gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ kí n sọ Yorùbá ẹ má bínú, ẹ má láti help me láti jẹ́ kẹ́nìkan bá yín interpret ni. Tẹ́ bá ti bí mi pé ẹ fẹ́ episode ní, màá send ẹ̀ sí yín lórí WhatsApp. Ẹ wá ní káwọn ọmọ yín máa ṣàlàyé nǹkan tí mo sọ fún yín. That's the best thing I can do today. Torí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, ṣẹ̀rí pọ́jọ́ tí ń lọ, mi ìdẹ̀ tí ìbàdébì kan. Go ahead, let me know what happened. This sexual molestation, ó ti jó mi. How did it happen?
So the sexual molestation started with one of my uncle, my neighbor. It was my neighbor at that time. So I would go to his place to watch movies, and from there he started touching me, and I could not tell my parents at that time, because yes, my mother would kill him, but I don't want I didn't see any. I didn't have that confidence. I didn't have that relationship with them, that close relationship with my parents, to even like tell them what I was going through, because my father hated me, obviously. So if I tell him that I was molested, he will be like,
you are the one they will beat. You know that kind of thing. When a child is molested, it is the child they will beat. They will not talk to the pedophile. They will not talk to the addict that is messing up the life of a child. It's that child. They will say, but you are not law. Even when you are raped in Africa, they are blaming a girl for being raped. And you are not blaming the rapist. Why would you blame me for, hey, ìwọ náà ò rí bó ṣe rí, ò rí bó ṣe múra? Can you just stop that? Don't ever blame any victim of rape again. Ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá fi ipá báyàn lò pọ̀, àrùn ọpọlọ ló ní, kò ń ṣẹjọ́ ẹni tó fi ipá bá lò pọ̀ o. At any level, ìlú òyìnbó tó bá marry tó wà nílé ọkọ, tí ọkọ ẹ tó bá fi ipá bá ẹ lò pọ̀ tó agree, ó lè torí ẹ lọ sẹ́wọ̀n. See my culture, see my tradition, see the system I find myself. Chai, go ahead, please.
So when after everything happened, I could not tell him about the incident because I felt like he's going to blame me. He will say, "Maybe I said it. No wonder I was actually being tough on her and everything." And yeah, my parents, they are good, but this thing really affected me. It has really caused a lot of things that I became very stiff. That's the word. I became very stiff towards them. I'm not really open towards them. I remember when I started menstruating, I saw my menstruation. I cannot even tell my mother that, "Mommy, I'm menstruating," because, like I said, that relationship, that close relationship was not there. Even when my mommy started building, my mommy was trying to be closer, but I was pulling back. I was pulling back.
Wait. Your story is looking like my story. When I started menstruating, I couldn't tell my mom. I had to lie that I sat on a seat and stick shook my bum bum. I couldn't say. You need to hear my story. Maybe one day to be my story's day. I need to share it with you. For you to know that this gospel I'm passionate about is what I have touched, what I've felt, and what I've handled. My stepfather was trying to molest me sexually, and I was rude. I still have the mark in my hand. My mother cut me with a knife and said I'm insulting her husband. I can't blame her. I still loved her. She said my parents are good. That's the bond of a child and the parent. We are not saying this to kill and malign any parents. No. We're just saying that when you are raising a child, treat them as an individual. Don't show favoritism. Don't bring them to this world to cause them pain. I'm still interested in that, uncle. Go ahead.
So when I saw it, I could not tell her okay, this is what I saw. This is the thing. It was later that she noticed a stain on my skirt, and she was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Okay, this is it happened." Yes. But I did not. Normally now I'm supposed to say, "Mommy, see what I saw," but I could not.
Not even mommy, see what I saw. Parents, you are hearing me. Let your child know at a particular age in their life they will see blood. Discuss sex education. Discuss menstruation. How can you are raising a girl child? You are not having a strong conversation about their body parts with them. The program is Shimata, so understand. Parents, hear me. Hear me clearly. It's not that your daughter will not say, "Mommy, see what I saw." No. Sit your daughter down. Teach them sex at their level of information, what they can swallow, what they can handle. Yoruba English, can't only be me. I'm so angry today. But that anger is love, nothing more. Because I know some parents they are my fans, and all of you, I celebrate all my fans today. I dare for you today. Your daughter should never ever come back and say, "Mommy, I saw blood." That child would have been prepared. You would have told her. Even fathers, let me say this before I go back to fathers. Do you know, as a mother, you'd have told her, this is menstrual pain. This is menstrual. You can have menstrual pain. You can have we call it pang, menstrual pang. This is how to use sanitary towel. You remove your clothes as a mother and explain to her how you put sanitary towel in your panty. How she will wear it. How she will change it every 3 hours depending on the flow. How to let her know that this thing can smell. Don't encourage them to use tissue paper. It can give them infection. I've seen a lot of girls that tissue paper has run into almost to their ovary. Teach them. Our old parents, they use clothes to do their period. Soft clothes that is absorbent. Teach them. Show them. Mothers. If you have a girl child, you are hearing me now. If you have a girl child, and I bring that girl child on my program, maybe in 10 years' time, it's about the 90 or 70. Kí wá gbé wá sórí program kò ní ẹ nǹkan sọ fún mo. Program ti turn, no time again. We are continuing next week. This is the 3rd episode. We can't end it like this. I have to bring her back next week. This is a serious matter. See how her life story is breathing life into me and making me to want to explode and just tell the world the truth about parenting and not showing favoritism, the effect, the impact, the torture on a child. She couldn't tell her mom that she was menstruating. A child that you have seen as a waste of your spermatozoa or whatever, a child that you hated. She said, my parents, they hate me. She knows that if her mother knew, they will kill the person, but she does not. She cannot even predict how you are going to protect her. Oh God, there's no time. Well, I'll be going right now. Not a problem. I'll come back next week. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that has been at the sound of my voice today. I know it's been kind of tough. Chai, very, very hard and hot. It's too peppery today, but it's for a reason. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu. On behalf of Dr. Nkadjo Laifele, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that have been listening to She Matters today. It's been wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. I've told you, if you are listening to me and you are not married, you're a man, you're a woman, you're not married, the School of Finishing Touches, these are the things I teach. You can't live better if you don't know better. Join us on the 4th of May, 2024. That's when we're resuming. The number for resumption is 090 20 10 10 80. Make sure you text that number or WhatsApp that number. We don't pick calls because of the crowd that calls that number. I appreciate you so much for listening. Sincerely, I'm grateful. I'll see you next week. Bye.